Golf News RI presents the Golf Dudes Podcast. Here are the dudes.
Hey, what's up, everybody? Happy Thursday. Welcome to another episode of the Golf Dudes Podcast. I'm Golf News RI co-founder Joe Calabro. Joining me, as always, almost always, is Rich Capali. Rich, how you doing today, buddy boy?
Not bad. How's it going with you?
I am terrific. Now, before we get to our esteemed guest that you can see, or we'll see joining us in just a minute, we should tell you that the Golf Dudes Podcast is presented by Links Drinks. Links Drinks is known for their transfusion cocktail in a can. Check it out in stores and at local golf clubs today. So thanks to Links Drinks for signing on with us. Super excited to work with them. Rich has already drank a few Links Drinks over the last week. Not too bad.
Not too bad at all.
So thank you again to Links Drinks. Now, let's get to the heart of the matter. And joining us on the video machine is our good friend, Allison Pig. She's the defending women's amateur champ, Massachusetts women's amateur champion. And more importantly, she was our first ever guest on the Golf Dudes Podcast. She keeps coming back for more punishment. I don't know why. But Allison, thanks so much for coming on and hanging out with us tonight.
Yeah, I'm happy to be back.
Awesome. So it's been a heck of a year for you. Obviously, you're going into the Massachusetts Women's Amateur next week at Plymouth Country Club. We'll get to that in a second. But talk about this year. Obviously, your college golf season was canceled over at Columbia, so you didn't get the thrill of playing college golf, at least not this year, hopefully next year. But just talk about your summer so far. You're competing in a number of tournaments, a number of challenging tournaments, including the U.S. Women's Amateur Qualifier. Just talk about what kind of summer you're having and what's your game like nowadays?
Yeah, I've played a bunch of tournaments this summer, maybe like 3 or 4 big ones. I haven't had the best of summers, unlike last year where I had a lot of finishes, but I'm slowly working on my game and trying to get it back to where it used to be to possibly win another Women's Am Championship. I'm feeling good right now. The past week I've been working really hard, especially with my coach, doing a lot of work on chipping because that's been a struggle and long game. So yeah, I'm excited for next week.
Now you say you've been working on your game. I work on my game, but it only lasts like a half an hour. How many hours do you put in typically, especially now leading up to a tournament, obviously a big tournament? But what kind of practice schedule do you put in? What kind of how much are you playing and things of that nature?
I try to play at least once a day, like one round. I think playing, especially going into a tournament, is really important. The playing is a lot different than just hitting balls on a range, and you can simulate the actual tournament feel on the course. So I mostly do a lot of playing, try to play with friends to make it a friendly competition, put some pressure on myself, and also I spend maybe a few hours just doing long game, chipping, putting every day too.
Awesome. Now, we want to get into next week, obviously, but just for a second, let's go back to last year when you won the Massachusetts Women's Amateur. Obviously, it's similar to the RI Amateur where it's stroke play the first 2 days, then it's match play, but go back to last year. What do you remember about that week? What were you feeling like that week? I mean, where's your game at that week? What do you remember? What sticks out to you about last year's big victory?
Yeah, last year I really enjoyed the course. Sorry, am I still on?
Yeah, you're good.
Yes, we still have you.
Oh, sorry.
No worries.
Yeah, last year I really enjoyed the course. I think it really fit my eye well. I was very confident in my driver and putting, which is really important to shoot low scores. And it's definitely a long week. There's a lot of golf to happen, 2 rounds of stroke play. There's 4 rounds of match play last year. This year there's going to be 5 rounds because they added an extra one. So it's a lot of golf. You definitely have to be patient with it and know you're going to be in it the whole time.
What are your thoughts on Plymouth, and when's the last time you played there?
I have never played there. I'm playing a practice round before the tournament So my first time seeing it will be tomorrow, and then got the first round on Monday. But if I make it far, I'm seeing the course a bunch of times, so I think I'll get used to it.
Yeah, I played Plymouth. I was just talking off air. I played Plymouth in May with our good friends, the Cape Cod Golf guys, and it was challenging. Obviously, you're a much better player than I am, but it was challenging. It was interesting. Donald Ross, it's a Donald Ross course, and there's a lot of challenging holes and interesting tee shots for sure. So I don't know what the course setup is going to be like for you guys, but at least we have that in common. I played Plymouth already, and you didn't. It was just surprising. So when you go to play this practice round tomorrow, I mean, we see guys and people in the pros all the time playing practice rounds. When you go play this tomorrow, are you going to be taking notes? Are you, what do you look for when you go to play a practice round, whether it's Plymouth or anywhere else for that matter?
Yeah, I always take notes, looking for spots where I can miss and it's not cause me a huge number. Really looking at the greens, hitting a lot of lag putts, I think is important. Getting the speed down. Yeah, basically that.
See, this is why we stink. We don't take notes during our practice round.
Right.
So I want to start taking notes.
Yeah,
during my,
2 seconds at the range and then hit the tee.
during my practice round. So like you said, the Mass Amateur, like the Rhode Island Amateur, is stroke play, and then it obviously flips over to match play. I think you said there were 5 rounds of match play. Is that correct?
Correct.
Awesome. That's a lot. So first 2 days of stroke play, and then match play. I was talking to some of the amateur guys and gals over the last couple of weeks, and asking them about the stroke play, match play. How do you flip the switch? How does that work for you? How much stock do you put into the stroke play portion of the tournament? Are you worried about what seed you get? I mean, obviously you have to qualify for the match play. I understand that, but let's just assume that you're going to qualify. How much stock do you put in the stroke play portion, and how do you flip that switch from stroke play to match play?
I guess there's not like a huge switch from stroke play to match play. You're still playing golf per se, but definitely like you're playing against one person instead of the whole field in stroke play. So sometimes you can like strategize like playing safe versus aggressive on a certain hole against the player, or you can give putts and stuff like that. So yeah.
Awesome. So the Massachusetts Women's Amateur starts next Monday at Plymouth Country Club, and Golf News Wire will have it covered. We'll follow all of Allison's rounds as usual, and I'm super excited for that. And again, I played Plymouth back in May. Did terrible. I'm assuming they're going to do a lot better than me. Talk about so we'll move off the Women's Amateur, but because we want to get into some other things. Talk about obviously last year college golf over at Columbia got eliminated. I mean, for the season rather due to COVID. What's the excitement level for hopefully getting on the course this year with Columbia and playing some college golf?
Yeah, I'm super excited to get back to school and play golf, especially with my teammates and actually having my coach me for the first time. Really, I know that my coach has been waiting to do that and for our team to be together. So that's like a huge thing. Yeah, and just getting back into competition like every week, and that kind of stressful at times schedule, but fun schedule. So yeah, I'm excited.
Awesome. Yeah, we're excited to follow. We're excited to follow you once you get back to college golf.
What's the rest of your summer look like? I know you only probably have like 2 or 3 weeks left before you go back to school. So what do you got going on for the rest of the summer?
Yeah, this is my last tournament next week. And then I got 2 weeks before I move into school. So basically in those 2 weeks I'll prepare to move to college and also to prepare for the fall golf season.
Now, last year you did the whole college year from home, right? You didn't even go to college. So this is going to be your first steps on the Columbia University campus, correct?
Yeah, I visited a few times, but yeah, living there is completely different than just visiting.
So that's exciting.
Yeah.
So this will be like freshman year,
She's a
but
freshman, but she's
not
a sophomore.
freshman year. Very, very interesting. Well, listen, thanks so much for coming on. We really appreciate it, and thanks so much for I always enjoy emailing back and forth with you. And then good luck next week at the Massachusetts Women's Amateur. I actually do have one trivial question. Then we'll get you out here because this is something I wanted to talk about later in the show. But let's just say, and you have a much better chance of shooting 59 than I ever will. So let's just say that you are in a tournament, and I'm sure Rich knows where I'm going with this. Let's just say that you're in a tournament, and it's a 3-round tournament because tentatively the 4th round might not happen, and you have about a 6-shot lead on the tournament, and you're going into the last hole, and a birdie gets you 59, which is like history, obviously, and history in this particular form. Would you focus on just closing out the tournament, or would you try to go for 59? And even if you make a bogey or a double bogey, who cares? You have a 6-shot lead. Would you go for history? Even,
Do you know what
I'm talking about?
I don't know what you're referring to, but to answer your question, to make history, I would go for the 59 because if you have a 6-shot lead, I mean, there's no like worse that you can do than like you can't really lose at that point. So you're already playing well. You're about to shoot 59.
Last night. That's why we're saying.
So last night in the Olympics, I stayed up till 2:30 a.m. I mean, I stayed up late anyway, but I stayed up till 2:30 a.m. because Nelly Korda in the Olympics, she's leading the tournament. I don't know if she already teed off tonight.
4-shot lead or 5-shot.
I don't know if she teed off already tonight or what, but anyway, Nelly Korda had birdied like 8 out of the last 10 holes or something, something ridiculous. She was making everything. She gets to 18. She needs a birdie on 18 to shoot 59. At the time, she had a 6-shot lead. Now, to be fair, she put her ball in the rough, and there was a tree not directly in the way. She could have hit a cut around it or whatever, but there was a tree there. And so the debate was, should she punch out or go for it? And there was water. Yeah. So if she hits a tree, obviously, it's probably going in the water.
Yeah.
So she ends up punching out.
Yeah.
She punches under the tree, and Jim Bones Mackay, who I actually like as a commentator, but I was pissed at him last night. He goes, "Oh, that was a great play." Well, she ends up making a 6 on the hole anyways. She ends up doubling the hole anyways. So now today, she has a 4-shot lead. She's going to, supposedly this could be the last round for the women's tournament because there's all kinds of storms hitting Japan on over the next couple of days. They don't really know what they're doing, actually, but that's what the reports say. So that's what I was referring to. Nelly Korda not going for it to make 59, which would have been in women's golf history probably, and certainly Olympic history. Yeah. And she had a chance to go for it. Bones said she had 145 to the hole, with a slight tree in the way and water in front of the green. So she's like, and then he even said, he goes, well, if she goes in the water, that brings 6 or 7 into play. Well, she ended up making a 6 anyways.
So that's that.
So Allison, thank you for backing me on that question. Sorry it was so mysterious and random, but there was a method to my madness. So anyway, Allison, thanks so much for your time. We'll let you get back to practicing or whatever you're doing. And good luck next week. We'll be covering it, and I'll try not to bother you too much next week. But certainly, if you win, we'd love a post game comment, and hopefully you get another victory. So good luck next week. Thanks so much for coming on the show, and always appreciate your support.
Yeah, thank you for having me again. I love coming on the show. Thanks for all the support you guys give me.
All right, well, win the Mass Women's Amateur, and maybe we'll have you back on, all right? Thanks, Allison. All right, that was Allison Pick. She's competing in the Massachusetts Women's Amateur next week at Plymouth Country Club. It starts Monday. It ends Friday. First 2 days of stroke play, like in the R Amateur, and then the rest is match play. So we'll certainly be covering that. Plymouth is like I said, I really struggled at Plymouth. I was talking to you about that immediately after I played. I really struggled there. Tons of wind. So windy, it's only a few miles from the water, I guess. The kid I was saying with
all that island golf is crazy,
and so I really struggled, but it was fun. It was nice. It's historic. They have a club historian. You're something when you have a club historian. Right. Super looking forward to following that along next week. So thanks to Allison again for coming on. Really quick, I just want to tell everybody about a fundraiser for the Burke Fund. Our friend Ed Brady is hosting a fundraiser on his own to benefit the Brick Fund, and that is on August 27th. The fundraiser will start at one of his restaurants, Huck's Filling Station. Then it will move to the Odeum Theater for a showing of Caddyshack. There's going to be a silent auction and all kinds of other things. The Huck's Filling Station, there'll be food, drink. It's going to be like a red carpet type of thing. And so that's on August 27th. So just wanted to tell everybody about that. You can buy tickets through the Brick Fund website. There's also links to it on our website and on our social media pages. It's a great event, and thankful to Ed Brady, who does, as you know, a ton for the community, mostly in Cranston, but just around in general. And everyone's people at the Brick Fund were really excited that he wants to do this for them. And again, he's hosting it on his own. It's not through any of his restaurants. He's hosting it at one of his restaurants, but it's not through his restaurant, if that makes any sense. He's hosting it on his own. So thanks to Ed Brady. And again, that's August 27th, and starting at Huck's Filling Station, and then going to the Odeum Theater for Caddyshack. So thanks again to Ed Brady, and that's all to benefit the Brick Fund, which, as a Brick scholar, the Brick Fund means a lot to me. So just wanted to throw that out there. So we have a few minutes left to this segment, then we hit our promo. But while we're here, a big week this week in local golf, for me especially, because it's the start of the Kirkbride Club Championship. And all the matches start on Sunday. And so one of the best times of the year. Obviously, we've been reporting on all the other club championships that have happened. Last weekend was a huge weekend for club championships. I think we had 4 or 5 articles up. So congrats to all the winners. And now the Kirkbride Club Championship starts this week. And I didn't publish it because I don't know if it's like private or not, but I'll read you the bracket for not for Division Q, but for the normal, for the real club championship. So there's a look. Rich is looking at it now. There's a look at the bracket for the club championship at Kirkbride. And again, I'll cover it. We'll have an article up following, the final match, which is in a few weeks. But super exciting time of year. I think club championship season is the best time of year. So without further ado, and by the way, thanks to everybody for watching today. Bridget White, my mother, David Gordon, Joel Bissett, hope all is well. Tina, thanks for watching. And Glenn Haskins, thank you for watching. Hope everyone is having a great Thursday night, and hope everyone's looking forward to a big golf weekend in Rhode Island. I certainly am. So, Kirkbride Club Championship, the number 1 seed. Now, in Kirkbride, they do it so the defending champion gets an exemption from the qualifying, but he doesn't get the number 1 seed. He gets the number 2 seed. We're splitting hairs here at that level. But number 1 seed is Nick Salvatore, who almost made it to the match play, the amateur. He lost in a 7-way playoff on early Thursday morning.
Sounds like the Browns medal.
To get into the match play of the amateur. So he's a good player. He's going to face Corey Martone in the first round. Corey Martone got in at a playoff last Sunday as a 16 seed. So that's going to be a good match. 2 kids basically playing. John O'Clair, he's won the thing 13 times. And he's going to play Mark Eaton, former hockey player, in the first round. That'll be a good match.
That's going to be a good match, yeah.
And for those that are curious, all these matches are taking place, or these first 2 matches are taking place at 7:30 a.m. on Sunday. So my tee time's not till 10. So I'll be I don't know if I'm going to get there at 7:30, but I'll probably show up a little bit early to watch some of these guys go out because it's a different level of golf. So those are the first 2 matches: Nick Salvatore against Corey Martone and John O'Clair against Mark Eaton. Mark Eaton's got 2 Stanley Cup rings. He's looking to add a Kirkbride Club Championship. Then the next match down the line, I'm just reading off the bracket that was sent out on Tuesday night. Tommy McCormick is taking on Bill Benford at 7:40. Tommy's playing really well. He had a deep run in the RA Amateur. And Bill Benford's a good player as well. And so that should be an interesting match, although I would slightly give the edge to Tommy, although Bill Benford's probably going to kill me tomorrow, but that's okay. The next match is Bruce Tremonti versus Jeff Shoddy, Glenn Shoddy's his father. So Bruce Tremonti, he's a good player. We got to watch out for him on the 10th hole because he has 4 hole-in-ones on the 10th hole going for it. So depending on where the tees are, that'll be, not that he's going to make a hole-in-one, but certainly he's a threat. Those matches, he's playing with Tommy McCord match. That's at 7:40. 7:50. Now we get to our good friend Mike Hamilton, the number 2 seed, the defending champion, playing Alan Lau. 7:50 a.m. And then Steve Holmes and our good friend Douglas Caniglia is the other match. That'll be a really good match as well. Doug's been hurting this year, but he's taking a cart, so he's grinding it out. And then now that gets us to 8 o'clock. Larry LaFauci against our main man Martin Hill. Martin's a past club champion. He's playing. He beat cancer this past year and a half ago. So whatever it's been, a good guy. Love that guy. So he's facing Larry LaFauci. Larry LaFauci's having a great year. He won the RI4 ball with Tommy earlier this year.
Yep.
Earlier this summer, rather. So he's having a great year. Made it to the amateur as well. Made it to the match play of the amateur. And then the final match of the championship division goes off at 8 a.m. 2 of my friends. So I'm just rooting for both of them to play well. Brad O'Clair against Derek Audette. Derek bounced back. So the Kurt Break qualifying is 2 days, Saturday, Sunday. They play from obviously the way back tees. I think you had to shoot. I think the cut ended up being like 77 or something. They set the course up really hard, believe it or not. And Derek bounced back on the second day, because the first day he almost played himself right out of the tournament because he made a 9 on the 14th hole. Ugh. He took a 9 on 14.
I hate that.
And he almost took himself right out of the tournament, but thankfully the cut kind of moved up for him, and he played himself back into it. So exciting matches again. My Division Q match doesn't tee off until 10 a.m., and so I'll probably try to get up there early and watch some of these other matches for a little while anyway. So that's the Kirkbrake Club Championship. We're gonna hit our promo, but then we're gonna come back and we're gonna break down the Kirkbrake Club Championship just a little bit. We'll get Rich's thoughts, because he knows a lot of these guys. And so we'll talk about that now that we went over the bracket. Plus, we're going to talk about some Olympic golf. We're going to talk about Nelly Korda, because I may just be making her my pants scrap of the week. And then we're going to talk about the PGA Tour tournament going on, and a big news from the PGA Tour this week that was really disappointing. And we had an article about it, and we'll tell you what that is as well right after this break. So we'll hit our promo, and we'll be right back. This is the Golf Dudes Podcast. Billy Andre joins the show. Billy, thanks so much for doing this, and we appreciate you taking the time.
Well, thank you. Thanks for having me. I'm excited.
I'm very excited to be joined by an 11-time Emmy Award winner, and that is Armen Keteyian. Massachusetts Women's Amateur Champion Allison Paik.
The days of the country club just being golf and maybe one amenity are gone. Unfortunately, Metacomet doesn't have those.
He has a very rare condition called kyphoscoliotic Ehlers-Danlos syndrome. And at the time of diagnosis, there was only 60 documented cases in the world.
I mean, we legitimately played the last 4 holes at Newport National. You could not see 50 yards.
And welcome back to the Golf Dudes Podcast. Joe Calabro, Rich Capaldi alongside. And we had Allison Paik on earlier. You'll be able to see that interview tomorrow on our website. Obviously, it also is on our Facebook page as well. Again, the Golf Dudes Podcast is presented by Links Drinks. And thanks to Links Drinks for signing on with us and trying to help us grow while we help them grow. So thanks again to them. Before I went to the break, we went over the bracket for the Kirkbrake Club Championship. And obviously, it's club championship season. I know the Warwick Club Championship, they already had their senior club championship. Their regular club championship is coming up in a few weeks. And in King's Crossing, where are you guys in your club championship?
We got the finals next Saturday, I believe.
All right, awesome.
Yep.
So we'll have coverage.
We'll definitely have
some of that. Yeah. We'll have coverage of that as well. Last year, Rich did a great job of taking some videos from it and posting about it. So we'll see if we can get him to do that again. But either way, we'll have it covered. So Kirkbrake Club Championship, we went over the bracket. You're seeing the bracket. What you know a lot of these guys, which is the only reason why
I don't want to step on toes here.
It's all right. Who cares?
I know a lot of these guys and friends with these guys.
You don't step on those.
Let's see. If I'm picking a match to watch, it's crap. It's
Brad O'Clair, Derek Odette.
Yeah, it's got to be it. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, Brad O'Clair versus Derek Odette. That's got to be my pick of the match. Pick of the bracket right there. Two good friends. Going to be a battle. I mean, I don't know their golf games that well. I'm more of like the social drinker at the bar type of hanging out with them. So you could probably get a little bit more in depth on.
They're both a lot better than we are. I
Well,
can assure you.
obviously, everybody in
I can
this
assure you.
bracket.
They play different games than we do.
Yeah.
So should be an exciting Sunday. I am in Division Q. If we scroll down to Division Q, for some reason, if anyone's interested in coming to watch me play, feel free. Drinks are on you.
That's so funny.
We're not even at Division Q yet.
Holy crap, we've been scrolling a while.
Oh, there's Uncle Bob. That's a tough match. Oh, 9-10. All right, I'll watch that.
Oh, Pat Healy's up there too. Oh, there's Lou, Jack.
Then we finally get to Division Q. I'm playing Ken Catalose, who I played last year. Good guy. And if I win, I potentially could play Cousin Scott, which would be a bloodbath.
And that's on what, Sunday?
That's Sunday, 10 a.m. So we're in the same.
The 14th, that's the following week.
We're in the same group, so that'll be fun anyway. And then my dad somehow got a first round bye in the same bracket.
Oh yeah,
So
yeah.
it could be fun.
I may have to ask Cousin Scott for the day off that day because I don't know if I'm going to be able to miss that.
What,
It's
on
cousins
Sunday?
versus cousins. The following week,
Oh,
you versus Scott.
yeah. Well, we have a long way to go to get there, but we'll see. But anyway, that is the Crippler Club Championship. Again, super excited. I'll start getting nervous on like Saturday night, but then we'll get ready to go. So excited for that, and then see what happens in the top division. Dad says he had to work, so he got himself a first round bye. Anyway, I have to work there or what? Anyway, so that is where we at with that. We just went to the bracket, and again, we'll have updates. I'm sure I'll have updates depending on what happens. Do some video, whatever. Anyways, that's going on. Again, I see you off at 10 a.m. If you feel so inclined to come watch Terrible Golf, feel free. If not, go early and watch the real players play. So that's the Crippler Club Championship. If you guys have thoughts on that, feel free to weigh in. Super exciting. And then, other than that, let's get to Women's Olympics and then the PGA Tour. And Women's Olympics, we talked about it with Allison a little while. And I was obviously half joking, but not really, because I just stayed up late to see if this girl can shoot 59. But Natalie Court has a 4-shot lead. She's going to win the tournament. They potentially could only be playing, or this potentially could be the last round.
Yeah.
They don't really seem that they know what they're doing exactly.
I mean, it's all weather dependent. I mean,
Right.
it's been brutal over there. I mean,
Well, it's been brutal the opposite. It's been brutal the other way too. It's been
Yeah.
like 90-something degrees, but it feels like 106.
Lexi Thompson's caddy had
Fainted,
to
or
withdraw
almost
because he had
fainted.
heat exhaustion,
Right.
almost fainted.
Yep.
It's getting crazy. It's crazy over there. It's super, super, super hot, and they, like you said, they have this massive storm coming in for the next couple of days. So who the hell knows what they're doing? They're playing it probably by ear, just on the weather alone. So who knows what's going to happen?
But the problem with them playing by air is, and it could end up in a complete disaster. What if they finish the third round and then they start the fourth round or plan to start the fourth round, then all of a sudden they have
Then
to,
what happens?
Then all of a sudden they have to call it.
Yeah.
It's like so what if Nelly Cora somehow it doesn't have the lead? What if somebody makes a run in the middle in the hour they're going to get in
I
the
think
fourth round, and then all of a sudden then they have to call it? So does the title go to Nelly Cora? Does it go to
Who knows?
who's ever in the lead at the time? I mean,
So this is what the
it's gonna be
second round.
bizarre.
The second round is right now.
No, tonight's the third round.
Tonight's the third. I mean,
They started on Tuesday night.
I mean, you
Our
almost have to think about calling it. I would think after.
I think it would be bizarre if they don't make a decision ahead of time, right? Don't you have to tell people, hey, this is going to be the final? I mean, I would think you have to tell people this is the final round.
I wonder if the girls know that this is the.
Well, there was a
who
memo.
knows?
Todd Lewis posted a memo that was sent to the players on his Twitter account.
Oh, I did. I saw that.
Todd
Yeah.
Lewis of Golf Channel, obviously, and he said there was a memo sent out to all the players
That there's a
explaining,
risk of
explaining that this
30
could happen. But the Olympics wants to do their best to give them a full tournament, which is fine. But judging by, again, this is all just off of reporting. I know nothing about the weather, but it seems like it's supposed to be bad. One of the days they were saying it's supposed to be like a complete washout.
Yeah.
So Because then they don't even have this option to move to Sunday, because Sunday was when the tropical storm was hitting.
Yes,
Or the tropical
yeah.
depression, I guess, whatever they're calling it now. So a bizarre situation, the Women's Olympic Games. I don't know I'm sure they've already all teed off right now. And I'm sure Natalie Corda still has the lead. Maybe she'll try to shoot, maybe she'll actually shoot 59 this time. So that is what's going on in the Olympics. A bizarre situation. Keep you posted. Originally, they're supposed to probably call it. Everyone was tweeting that this is probably going to be the last round. So when I watch it later tonight, kind of going to assume that that's the last round. That's what I'm going to go with.
I'm
Because
trying to look at
no
the
one seems too confident in them getting the rest of this tournament in. So he's looking that up.
I'm looking up the location right now.
The weather.
Yeah.
Right. They said by like Friday, it's supposed to be like, which tomorrow would be the last round. So he's looking it up on his cell phone. PJ, while he's doing that, I was one of the PGA Tour
Oh, yeah.
leaderboard today.
How about
Oh, there
that?
you go. Oh yeah, it's coming.
How about that? Look at that.
Crazy.
For those of you that can't see that, let me go down. The pin is where the country club is, and all that nonsense below it is the weather. So they are virtually screwed.
And they were saying in the Golf Channel that by tomorrow night, our time,
Look at how
gonna
much
hit.
weather is around there. That's insane.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah, so I'm willing to bet that this is probably the last round tonight.
That's what everyone was saying going into it. So I thought it was weird how they're handling it. I mean, I understand they want to give the girls a chance to play a full tournament, but unless there was some drastic change in the weather
This thing's
forecast.
it's going right. Whatever the eye, if you want to call that a hurricane, the eye's going right over the middle of the golf course. So that's crazy.
I prefer just to call it crap.
Yeah, yeah, it's crazy.
So we'll keep an eye on that. Probably watch some of it tonight and see what happens. I'm assuming that this is going to be the final round. So I think that seems like a safe bet looking at the weather that Rich just pulled up. On the PGA Tour side of things, Harris English leads the FedEx St. Jude Invitational at 8 under.
He had a fantastic round.
Yep.
8 under round. He was pumping everything
He's
in.
coming on this season, huh? He's
He
kinda
has
having
2
a
wins
coming out
already.
party.
He has two wins
Having
wins already this season. So
having a coming out party.
yeah. Let's see what else. I'm pulling this up right now. Come on. Close. All right. Let's see what we got. We got Matty Wolf at 6 under, 2 shots back. Ian Poulter 6 under. Bryson.
Don't forget something named Jim Herman. That's 6 under.
Oh yeah. Sorry about
No,
that.
I'm just busting.
Something
Something named Jim Herman is that 6
Carlos
under.
Ortiz, Bryson, DeChambeau, Scheffler, Leishman, Berger, Zalatoris, Homa. They're all at 5 and 4 under, respectively. Kevin Na coming out of the clouds at 3 under, 5 shots back. Your boy Louis Oosthuizen at 3 under. Let's see, Cameron Smith, Abraham Answer also at 3 under. Colin Morikawa 3 under. Kisner at 3 under with Justin Thomas and Lee Westwood. Let's see what else we got. Patrick Reed. A lot of these guys that played in the Olympics are here. Hideki Matsuyama's here.
Imagine that flight.
Right. Patrick Reed, Xander Schauffele, gold medal winner. Not a big deal. A lot of these guys.
No, this is a big deal. I just prefer them to win the Ryder Cup.
No, you're not kidding. Phil Mickelson, Dustin Johnson. This is a fantastic. Tommy Fleetwood, Schauffele, this is a great field.
You got a good field.
Matthew Fitzpatrick, Brooks Koepka.
Well, amazing. Did you realize there's only 2 regular season tournaments left?
It's insane.
This week and next week, and then
And
the
we're
playoffs
gonna
start.
we're gonna get into my thoughts on the next segment that we're doing.
Yep.
Because I am not happy about it. But anyways,
So speaking of that next segment, we broke earlier this week, and I say we broke. I mean, the PGA Tour announced the change in the schedule, but we kind of were the first ones to write that there's no TPC Boston. The Northern Trust is no longer after this year. This is its last year, according to that's how I understood it. And so TPC Boston is out of the playoff and PGA Tour rotation as a site for the next few years, I guess. And so basically that leaves New England without, I mean, I know somebody corrected me on Facebook,
with,
Travelers,
Travelers.
as in Connecticut.
and I think
the Travelers wasn't the TPC
the first round of the playoffs is at Liberty National, isn't it?
this year.
Yeah, this year.
Not going forward, though.
Yeah, no, I'm just saying it's.
So
it's
the
there for this year, so.
the FedEx St. Jude is taking over the place of the Northern Trust. So they're going to Memphis for the first round, they're going to Delaware for the second round, and then Eastlake. So no TPC Boston in the rotation. It's been in the rotation for however many
As long as I can
years
remember.
since they started the thing. Yeah,
I mean, we've been going to it. We went to it, what, 3-4 years in a row, something like that? And I mean, it's
something like
it's
that.
longer
I have
than
been
that,
going.
like 10
Yeah,
years,
I've
something
been
like that.
much longer than 10 years.
Yeah.
I remember going there. Adam Scott's rookie year when that was his first ever win. I saw his first ever win for whatever that's worth.
Back when it was the Deutsche Bank.
Yeah, when it's Deutsche Bank, then it was the Dell Technologies, and then the Northern Trust.
I don't think it was ever the Northern Trust. They didn't play there
Oh,
as
yeah,
the
that's
Northern
right.
Trust because it got canceled for COVID.
No, they did. They played. There's no fans. They played there. There's just no fans.
Oh, that's right.
last
Okay,
year.
yeah.
They played there. There's yeah.
Yeah. Okay, yeah.
So no TPC Boston. So the PG Tour is now out of the New England market, other than the Travelers. I know they have a major at Brookline next year. And they have
That's already sold out.
But it's already sold out, as I mentioned in the article. Now, some people will note that there's no regular PGA Tour tournament in the New York area either, which would be true. But the caveat is, New York seemingly gets majors every other year.
Every other year, yeah.
I'm sure it's not literally that, but it feels like it.
I mean, it was Shinnecock, then it was Bethpage.
This year was somewhere in New York. I thought it was not this year,
Not
maybe
this
last
year.
year.
Maybe next year, yeah.
Something like that. It seems like they get majors a lot. Bethpage is getting the Ryder Cup in 2024.
Yep.
Or 20, whatever the year. The years ago, I messed up.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
Whatever that Ryder Cup is. So, disappointing news from the PGA Tour. Your thoughts?
As you can tell, I'm not happy because that's my spot. We go there, we party, we have a good time, see all of our favorites. That's the first time I actually saw Tiger Woods live in person. Was 3 years ago. 3 years ago at TPC Boston. Super disappointed. I've been there with my dad before. Saw Rory lift the trophy. Yeah, super disappointed. But Monahan also said that. He's a Mass native, so he said that it's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when they're coming back. So who knows? Could be a couple years, a year, 2 years, 3 years, who knows? But overall disappointment from this guy.
Yeah, I thought that's what made the whole thing ironic, is that the guy Monahan is from Massachusetts.
It's like, why are we pulling everything?
And he's taking a tournament a big tournament away from Massachusetts. And I know, with all due respect to the Travelers, TPC Boston was
That was playoffs.
the biggest tournament.
I mean, TPC,
in
Travelers
the
gets a good crowd too, but this is the playoffs,
Right.
And it's not like the second round; it's the first round of the playoffs, so everybody's there. Nobody got
Right.
knocked out. It's the fresh list of players. No, you get to see everybody. It's not a very difficult course to walk. It's just it's in a good area. The parking's great. Pretty much, that place is a perfect place to have a golf tournament, I think, in my eyes.
Mm-hmm. Now, do you think they pulled it because the players don't like the course? I mean, I always think TPC Boston plays like a pitch and putt for those guys, to be honest with you.
For
Do you
PGA
think
guys,
that's why?
it's probably a little easy. I mean, the scores are real low there, so
Oh, yeah,
that could be a reason. I mean, I'd love to know why. I'd love to know the actual official reason why. But
So, I mean, I know they're losing the sponsor. That's part of it. They had trouble holding sponsors there with Deutsche Bank. Although, to be fair, Deutsche Bank was there for a long time. And then Dell Technologies was there for only a few years.
5 years,
a handful of years,
Yeah,
yeah.
even.
And then Northern Trust was there, essentially 1 year, but there was no fans. There was no income coming from it. Disappointing news from the PGA Tour. That came out earlier this week, but we'll see what happens. I know we have the Brookline next year, and then we have the Senior Open in Newport. So there is some stuff, some big golf tournaments coming here. But the TPC Boston, which is something that everybody kind of marked on their calendar every year.
Yep.
Labor Day
weekend, baby,
weekend,
let's go.
Is
Final
is
round
done.
on a Monday.
So that is that. If you guys have thoughts on that, if not, we're gonna wrap up the show here in a few minutes. We know there's preseason football on. The Hall of Fame
That's
game
right.
is tonight.
Yeah, forgot about that.
The Dallas Cowboys against the Pittsburgh Steelers. And then next week there's actually a Patriots preseason game for whatever that's worth. So
It's not looking good from what I'm hearing coming out of camp.
I heard Mac Jones had a good day today though. And Cam Newton in his press conference was all dejected, and they said that he distanced himself from the rest of the team in the locker room and all these other things. So it's a circus down there for sure. So anyway, thanks to everybody for tuning in tonight. Thanks to Allison again for coming on. I really appreciate it. Looking forward to the weekend. Now, are you playing golf this weekend? Are you caddying for me, or what are you
Playing
doing?
tomorrow. I'm playing Sunday.
There you go.
I had the plans previous to me knowing that you were playing. So we'll see. We'll see what happens going forward. Good luck on Sunday. I'll you give me the 9-hole recap, and then the 18-hole recap when you're done, and then we'll take it from there. But yeah, good luck to all the guys at Kirkbride. Also to the guys at King's Crossing. It's not this weekend; it's next weekend. But oh no, actually, it might be. Is the 7th tomorrow? Oh no, it's actually this Saturday. It's this Saturday. So I'll get the bracket and I'll post it on the thing. But yeah, it is this Saturday. So I got my dates mixed up.
Nice. All right, well, that's our show. Thanks to everyone for tuning in. Hope you all have a great Thursday night. Hope you have a great rest of your weekend. We'll be back next week. We'll have a halfway recap of the Massachusetts Women's Amateur. We'll have last PGA Tour tournament of the regular season. It'll be interesting to see what the bubble looks like as far as who makes the cut for the playoffs.
Yeah,
That'll be something that we'll track next week.
I like playoff golf. Playoff golf is fun.
And then we'll also have, I think the U.S. Amateur starts next week as well, so we'll have Brad Valoy and Davis Chatfield. We'll check in with them possibly from Oakmont. That's going to be a beast, that course. So next week will be a big week, and it's just to give everyone a little bit of a teaser. We do have a big thing that we're launching within the next couple of days. I was going to try to cram it in this week, but I'm still finagling around with it. But we do have a big thing that we're launching possibly on Monday if I can get it all straightened out. That's super exciting, and that will greatly increase the Golf News RI brand. So we'll let you know what that is when we launch it. But it's in the works, and it's now becoming a very real thing. So very exciting time. So stay tuned for that coming probably Monday. So that's our show. Thanks everybody for tuning in, and we will talk to you next week. Same bat time, same bat channel, as they say. Peace.